Hey guys, it's Elena. Welcome back to another video. For today's topic, I really wanted to share with you 10 of the best mineral sunscreens for the summer 2021. Yay! We're here. I really wanted to share with you guys a couple of mineral sunscreens for all different skin types. So I wanted to share some products that would work for oily skin, dry skin, combo skin, normal skin, skin that's sensitive, and sunscreens that can work for those who have more medium to dark skin tones. I picked mineral sunscreens for this video, not because I have anything against chemical sunscreens. The reason why I picked mineral sunscreens is because typically that's what works best for those who have more sensitive skin types, and I wanted to include people who have sensitive skin. A lot of mineral sunscreens mostly work well for those who have sensitive skin types because a lot of people who are sensitive can't handle chemical sunscreens. It's just way too irritating for them. One little downside of mineral sunscreens, or people like to call it physical sunscreens as well, it can leave more of a white cast compared to chemical sunscreens. But like I said, chemical sunscreens tend to be a little bit more irritating, especially when it gets in your eyes. Not fun. Sunscreens are one of those products that I have no problem investing into. It's one of those situations that you kind of get what you pay for. There's a lot that goes into the manufacturing and formulation of sunscreens. Typically more affordable sunscreens tend to be just on the chalkier side, a little bit more of a white cast compared to those that are a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more pricey. It doesn't give as much of a white cast, or a white cast that is completely like not even noticeable. I tried to mix up the prices in here. The more affordable ones are typically in the $20 range, some are a little bit less than that, and then the more luxurious one is around the $30 mark. One is actually in the $50 mark. I made sure that all of these sunscreens that I'm going to be sharing with you today are broad spectrum, meaning they protect you from UVA and UVB from the sun. Also, I made sure to include if they do and don't have a water resistance claim, because a water resistance claim can be really important. It's important to know what type of sunscreen you'll be using depending on what activities you do throughout the day. So if you were going to go out and maybe go on a jog or something, it's more important for you to have a water resistance rating. Those that do have a water resistance rating means it's going to be able to stick on your face and protect you for a way longer time throughout the time that you're sweating. Maybe you're going out to swim. It's a lot more important to have that water resistance rating, knowing the fact that you're going to be a little bit more protected, as opposed to products that don't have a water resistance rating. It doesn't exactly ensure that the product is going to stay on your face if you were to go out and have a day out jogging or going swimming, more for an everyday kind of lounging around use. Getting on with the first, we have the MD Solar Sciences SPF 50. This is an SPF that actually dries down really well. It dries down a little bit matte, so it doesn't give you that super shiny, greasy look, but at the same time, it actually still is pretty moisturizing. It's also oil-free, so knowing that it dries down matte, but still moisturizing, and it's oil-free, it leads me to the conclusion that this product is going to be good for those who have oily skin, combination skin. One thing I will say about this product is that it does separate a little bit, so you're going to have to give it a little bit of a shake if you want to use it. It's really easy to blend. I don't find this to be heavy on the skin at all. It doesn't have any fragrance, essential oils, or alcohols, so for those of you that are sensitive to those ingredients, or you just don't want those ingredients in your skincare, that is something to note. So it's also much better for those who have sensitive skin. This actually contains dimethicones in there to help smooth out the skin, which is great for those who have textured skin, fine lines, wrinkles. If you want to help cover those pores, silicones are also a great ingredient to help smooth out your pores, make them look a little bit less visible. This contains green tea extract, which is a great anti-inflammatory ingredient and also helps calm and soothe the skin. I will say this does have a little bit of a white cast even for those who have lighter skin. That is something to note, but I think overall the formulation is pretty good. It sets really well under makeup, so if you are a makeup wearer, then a white cast probably isn't really going to be an issue for you, but I don't recommend this alone to be used for those who have more medium to deeper skin tones, because if you're not going to wear makeup over it, then you're probably going to see a white cast. But don't worry, there are going to be a couple sunscreens in here that is going to be more compatible for medium to deeper skin tones. It contains a water rating of up until 80 minutes, and yes, it is broad spectrum, as all of these sunscreens are. Which leads me to the next one, which is a lot more... There's a helicopter flying over me. Which leads me to the next one, which is a lot more suitable, a lot more compatible for those who have medium to deeper skin. This is the Farmacy Green Defense SPF 30. This has a really beautiful satin finish without leaving a greasy look. It gives a more dewy look, not so much a greasy look. And I know that some people really like that, especially for those who have dry skin that lacks a little bit of luster, you might actually like this. For those who have light to medium skin, I think you can really get away with not having that white casty look. That's one of the struggles when it comes to a mineral sunscreens, especially for those who have deeper skin. That's why a lot of mineral sunscreens are actually tinted, because it gives such a noticeable white cast. This one doesn't give as much of a white cast, even though it's not tinted, which is great. This also doesn't contain fragrance, essential oils, or denatured alcohol, which again is great for those who have sensitive skin. I actually consider this SPF really suitable for all skin types, except for those who have very, very, very oily skin, or if you're gonna go out and do some kind of like sports or some kind of activity. For those of us who have oily skin, you know what it's like to have oily skin in the summer. I get you. I think they did a great job with creating this formulation. It doesn't feel chalky, it doesn't feel drying. In fact, it actually feels just the right amount of hydration. And on top of that, it's pretty easy to blend. It contains this one ingredient right here. It's like some berry extract, which has antioxidant benefits, and someone is mowing their lawn. Okay, cool, great. So I'm just gonna talk over that. It also contains marigold extract, which helps protect our skin from environmental pollutions. The one thing I will say about this Farmacy SPF is it doesn't have a water resistance rating, so I definitely recommend this for more of an everyday kind of use, not so much going out and being active or going swimming. Sunscreen for those who have very, very, very oily skin, and even if you're gonna go out, maybe do some like sports, some kind of like physical activity outside, and you know that you're gonna be sweating a lot. It's either REN or REN Clear Skin Mattifying Face SPF 30. This is for those who have very, very oily skin because it is more of a mattifying formulation. This includes rice starch, which basically helps absorb excess oil production. This is great for oil control, obviously for those who have very oily skin. This can even work for those who have a combination skin. For those who have dry skin, I do not recommend this product at all, because to begin with dry skin, there's already a lack of oil production in your skin. You don't want to take away any more of the oils. So if you have dry skin, I would stay away from this. It is broad spectrum. One annoying thing about this is it doesn't have a water resistance claim. Just because it doesn't have a water resistance claim doesn't make it a bad product for going out and doing activities, but that water resistance claim is just there to ensure that it will stay on your skin for a certain amount of time. This is more for an everyday kind of wear. So if you struggle with excess oil production, you just are way too oily, I would recommend this for a day-to-day kind of sunscreen. This actually does contain fragrance, so I would not recommend it for those who are sensitive to fragrance, just don't like fragrance. It does have a bit of a prominent smell to it as well. It's not crazy where it's like offensive. For those who are looking for a sunscreen that is silicone free, this is one that is silicone free. I know a lot of people don't like to use silicones. I personally like silicones. I like silicone dimethicone based things, especially for those who have oily skin. It's more of a mattifying finish. It's light. Silicones are really light, and silicones overall are a huge molecule that really can't get into your pores and clog your pores. That's actually a pretty big misconception. This formulation is a lot better for those who have lighter skin tones, so just to keep that in mind. The next sunscreen is, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pronounce this, but it's CoTZ. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. Sensitive Gentle Zinc Oxide Mineral Sunscreen with SPF 40. I recommend this for those who have dry, dehydrated, and sensitive skin. Let me tell you why. This contains no fragrance, no essential oils, and no denatured alcohol. For those who are sensitive, they actually believe so much in this not causing sensitivity that even on their website they claim that you can use this even after skin treatments like lasers, microdermabrasion, even surgery. I'm not going to test that though, but I'm saying what they're saying on the website, you know what I mean? They also claim that you can even use it topically right after using acid. So maybe if you get like an acid peel or something like that. So they're really saying that this is probably going to work really well for those who have sensitive skin types. One thing I will say about this is it doesn't cause eye irritation, which is great. There's a lot of sunscreens out there that cause so much like eye irritations, especially if you sweat and it gets in your eye. That's just the worst feeling, because who wants that? Who wants that feeling? It is broad spectrum, like all of these are, and also it has a water resistance claim, so you're able to wear this outdoors if you're gonna be sweating a lot, if you're you know, gonna play a sport like volleyball or soccer outside, you know, whatever you want to do outside and sweat profusely for. This formulation actually contains a lot of emollients, which is great for the texture of the formulation and also to help the look and texture of your own skin. It helps it look and feel a little softer. For those who have dry skin, emollients are great as well because it helps lock in any moisture to prevent any transepidermal water loss that causes things like dehydration. So yeah, it does contain dimethicone, so it gives it a really nice, smooth, lightweight texture, which is great for, again, blurring fine lines, wrinkles, if you have enlarged pores. Another product that I recommend as a mineral sunscreen is the Biossance Squalane plus Zinc SPF 30. Right off the bat, one of the reasons why I like this is they managed to include squalane in here. I actually bought the Biossance like full squalane bottle. I used to religiously put squalane on my face. When I started to first discover the ingredient, I was immediately hooked on it. Even though I have oily skin, it's an oil that never made my skin feel extremely greasy. It did not feel heavy. It's actually extremely lightweight and barely noticeable on the skin. I love to use squalane oil, especially here during the winter fall months, because the wind and the cold is just so crazy. It really helps my skin stay moisturized and healthy throughout those really cold winter fall months. For those who have dry skin, this is a great ingredient because, as I mentioned, dry skin actually lacks a lot of natural oil production, and by replacing it with squalane, which is something that we actually naturally produce on our skin, it helps the skin stay moisturized and prevents that transepidermal water loss. It helps keep the skin barrier healthy. This is also another thumbs up for those who are sensitive to alcohol, fragrance, and essential oils because it doesn't have those ingredients. This is more of a thick consistency and it's actually really hydrating as well. So it's great for those who have dry, dehydrated skin. One skin type that I would not recommend this to is oily, mainly because you can risk looking a little bit on the greasier side, which I know a lot of people with oily skin like myself don't necessarily like to have all the time because we already have very oily skin. This is, once again, broad spectrum, but it doesn't have a water resistance claim, so this is more for an every single day kind of use. For those who have more oily combination to normal and even sensitive skin types, the Neutrogena Sensitive Skin Mineral Face Sunscreen of SPF 50 can be a really good option for you. I like this because it's extremely watery, lightweight, and it's really easy to apply on the skin. It dries down really well to almost like a matte finish, which is great for those who have oily combo skin, and it sits amazing under makeup. It's so lightweight. It feels like you're not wearing anything, and I know a lot of you oily skin folks, combo skin folks are going to love. I will stress this again, it's so completely lightweight. You do have to shake it though because it does separate a little bit, so you gotta make sure you're shaking it. This is sensitive skin friendly, mainly because it doesn't have those fragrance, essential oils, and denatured alcohol. It has this really nice formula where it dries down completely. I know a lot of you guys are really gonna like that. With a lot of SPF that I actually have, I don't usually feel the need to wear a moisturizer because a lot of SPF that I have actually feels very hydrating and moisturizing on my skin. I don't usually feel the need to add a moisturizer. This is a sunscreen that I actually feel the need to just put on some moisturizer before I put this on because it's not very hydrating. It doesn't add hydration to your skin. This isn't exactly something that I would recommend those who have dry skin. This does have a water resistance claim of up to 80 minutes, which gives it a thumbs up. You can go outside, sweat profusely in this. For those who have dry skin or even dry patches on your skin, it will cling on and accentuate those dry patches. The next one is the Paula's Choice Calm Mineral Moisturizer SPF 30 for normal to dry skin. And of course, I recommend this for those who have normal to dry skin and even those who have sensitive skin. This does have a thicker lotion-like texture. It really has a nice glide on the skin. This doesn't contain essential oils, fragrance, or denatured alcohol, and that's why it's also great for those who have sensitive skin. Oat is one of my favorite ingredients in skincare, and luckily this actually does contain oat. Oat helps with irritation. It helps with calming the skin. I actually found this to be really hydrating, so that's actually great for those who have dry skin. Another ingredient that it contains are ceramides, and ceramides have been so talked about. It's a huge popular ingredient for a reason, because it really helps protect the skin barrier and keep it nice and healthy. It's not super dewy. It does dry down a little bit. This doesn't have a water resistance claim, and yes, it is broad spectrum. So because it doesn't have a water resistance claim, I definitely would recommend this more for an everyday kind of wear. So the next one is the Supergoop Mattescreen Sunscreen SPF 40. This actually has a bit of a tint to it. Well, I wouldn't say a bit, because the tint is actually pretty prominent. For those of us who get hyperpigmentation, I know I get a lot of hyperpigmentation, it's nice to have a little bit of a tint with sunscreen, especially if you're not going to be wearing any product to help cover that up, because it helps even out that discoloration on the skin. Personally, I feel a lot more comfortable and confident when I know that my skin looks more even. Knowing the fact that it looks even and protected during the day is kind of like a great thing, you know? I don't notice that this gives much of a white cast at all, so it's great for those who even have medium to deeper skin tones. I believe this is dimethicone based, so it really helps with things like texture, pores, fine lines, wrinkles, and helps smooth and even all of that out. No fragrance, essential oils, or denatured alcohol, which is a thumbs up for those who have sensitive skin or just don't like those ingredients. It has a pretty matte finish. For ingredients, this does contain some argan oil, which is rich in vitamin E, and fatty acids that absorb well into the skin and don't feel heavy. It also contains butterfly bush extract. I don't know what the heck that is, but it helps protect against blue light. It also contains white mulberry root to help improve the look of uneven skin tone. If you don't want that silicone feel on your skin, then the Supergoop Mineral Sheerscreen SPF 30 PA3+ is going to be a better option for you. Like I said, this doesn't have that silicone feeling, and I know that some of you guys don't like that feeling. Aside from being broad spectrum, this has a water resistance claim of up to 40 minutes, which is so bomb. This is also great for sensitive skin because it doesn't have those fragrance, essential oils, or denatured alcohol. I would say that this could be a good option for those who want to try mineral sunscreens that have a little bit more of a medium to dark skin tone. Instead of being like a silicone lightweight texture, it's a bit more cream. This contains bush clover extract to help fight free radicals and oxidative stress from blue light. And also, again, this contains that squalane oil, which I love because it's moisturizing without it feeling heavy or greasy. I like this sunscreen for those who have more oily combo to even normal skin. The next one is the ISDIN, or ISDIN, I think is how you pronounce it. Ultralight Emulsion SPF 50+. This is actually the most expensive of the bunch. I actually find this to be a really cosmetically elegant formulation, and it's not greasy, so that's great for those who have oily skin. This is actually so lightweight, so this is great for oily skin. Not as lightweight as the Neutrogena one. This has a little bit more hydration to it. One thing that I don't like about this, and I wish that they could change it, is the fragrance. So that's something to note if you have sensitive skin or if you don't like the smell of fragrance at all in your skincare. One thing about the fragrance is it actually doesn't linger, so once you put it on, it kind of goes away in a couple minutes. I would say this is little to no white cast, so this is great for those who have medium to deeper skin tones. So this is actually a formulation that I personally think is great for all skin types. I think it really could work for all skin types, just not really for those who have sensitive skin. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that it kind of helps you out in your search for a mineral sunscreen. At the end of the day, the best sunscreen that works for you is the one that you will wear and use every day, that feels comfortable and that doesn't irritate your skin. So I hope that this guide was a little bit more helpful for you in finding your perfect sunscreen. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up to help me out. And if you haven't already and you want to see more skincare videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell to be notified every single time I post a new skincare video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!